Hi again, Doug here from X-Frames FPV, and today, well, we've got a review and a build for you on the iFlight Transframe X5. And this is a really well laid out, number one, the packaging is really nice, right? We don't get that very often in this industry. It usually comes in a bag or a box. But as you can see, this came really nice. Even this is actually the way it came from you got one layer. It's almost like opening an Apple iPhone or something. And then you can see, let's kind of look. One thing I wanted to talk about, because I was kind of impressed by it, is the quality of the carbon fiber. Light chamfering on the edges of the arms, not true full chamfered, but light chamfering. But it's almost like, I don't know if you've ever had or held an AstroX, but they put this like silk kind of application over the top of the carbon fiber, and that's kind of what this feels like, because it's extremely smooth, and when you put it in your hands, it just feels like quality. I'm going to do a really quick build on this. It's a super simple build. Obviously, they're really simple builds when they're a one-piece frame or a unibody, and so, but we'll go ahead and do it. Let's see, stiffness. You know, it's a little worried about this cutout because it's pretty thin in there, but it still is very, very stiff. They do have the carbon fiber weaved in here pretty nicely. So let's get this built and we'll just go forward with it. Like I said, it's about as simple a build as you're going to find. But, you know, for somebody who just is new to the hobby, even on simple frames, there can be questions. And so we will answer these questions. This did come with stickers that are not in the box. I pulled the stickers out and put them in another box. I have a box full of stickers. So really all you have to do is mount the bottom plate or mount the side plates here. And let's get a measurement on those. I think they're 1.5. Oh, they're 2mm. Same thing with the top. Yeah, you see that? 2mm. The mounting of this is really simple. The way you do it is you kind of, let's make sure you can see that on the camera, is you slide that in. This pops kind of in like that, and then you just snap it over. Okay. Same thing with the other one. Slide it in to the back. You see there's a little cutout there. You see that cut out? Let's make sure you can see that. Yeah, right there. Slide that in. And then this comes in as well. This one's a little tighter, so, but it's going to pop in as well. And then slide both of them all the way forward. I don't mind. You guys might see me struggling with this. I don't mind that I'm struggling with it, because that means it's going to last longer, because it's already got a nice, I mean, that's already nice and tight fit. So you add screws in there and standoffs and the such, and it's going to be even better. So obviously got our little handy dandy here. It's going to be the two biggest ones that are going to go across the top, and we're not countersinking it. So it's going to be these two screws, or 4 screws, M3 by 4, that are not countersunk type of screws. Okay, so that's what we need. Just drop them on the table. Hope they don't roll off. My pad has, for some reason, decided that it wanted to warp. And it gets warm in here in the summer, so maybe that's why. I don't know why it's done it, but it makes it really fun for screws, because they love rolling off and going onto the floor and making me search for them for 20 minutes. You know, a lot of times I just give up and just go to my bin of screws and just grab another one. So when I come usually every other day and sweep everything, then I'll find, oh, there's a screw I missed, and put it back in the bin. It works out. It doesn't work out, however, if you're running screws that are for, like, you know, like an off size or a certain color. Then you just got to get in your hands and knees and just get her done. Okay, can you guys, am I on camera? Yeah, kind of ish. Okay, and then before we get any further, you don't have to install this now, but it's got these nice little cutouts for it, but let's just go ahead and get it done here. I could have said get her done there again, but you know, that's the joke you just don't want to tell more than once. This does come with standoffs for your stack. We're not going to put them on. Straightforward how this goes on. You can see you've got two little cutouts in the front and one in the back. They snap in, and again, they're pretty tight. Okay. There's that. And then now we use the shorter standoffs, and again, on the top, we're going to use the standard screws, not the countersunk, because it is not a countersunk plate on the top. You guys get to watch me drop the screw. Probably, I'm going to say, since it's a close place, one is going to be enough, but you know, sometimes it's three. Okay. And then now we're going to go on the bottom side just to go ahead and hold it down with the countersunk screw. You're going to line it up. And it's not lined up because it's not in there. Let me pull that back out. Okay, there we go. Now it's lined up. Just screw it right in. No, it is not lined up. I think I remember from the first time. I always try to build these first, you know, one time before I actually get it on the table and build it in front of you guys, so that if there's any issues, I can contact the vendor or whatever. What I try to do is actually go through the process that you would have to go through as a customer. And the reason I do that is because if I contact the person that sent me this, you know, these frames are sent to me for free to review, right? I don't get paid for them, but they do send me them free, and I love it. Especially frames, man. I tell you, I cannot have enough frames. I'm going to be doing another, there's going to be a few iFlights that are going to be done here in the next day or two. And because they sent me like 4 frames, which is just fabulous. But I love building and looking at frames. Just when they're done, and just seeing what people do differently. And we'll talk about some of the things on this one that I just really like when we're done. One of the things I was talking about in another video, one of the things that I really like is when a frame designer gives you options, or gives you you're already set up for your camera mount for your GoPro, because a lot of us want to run a GoPro from time to time, not always, but from time to time, to have, you know, to see our flights, especially since I make videos. I like to put a camera on them, and especially when I'm doing testing, that way you can see an HD video rather than the crappy video feed from my goggles. What is the deal, by the way, with that? Why is the video feed so much worse going to the DVR than what we see with our eyes? I've just not understood that yet, but anyways, it is what it is. Okay, now this one, let's see here. That looks like it just needs to push back a little bit. I'm going to loosen that one up. They have, if you'll notice, a standoff will have a little bit of play in it. So, you know, and I was even doing it here, making the mistake of screwing them both down, screwing the bottom down before I had the top one mounted properly. But that's not really the way you should do it. Leave the bottom or top, whatever, the first screw that you do, leave it a little loose, because they do have a little bit of wiggle room. What were we talking about? We were talking about, oh, but I like when they have mounts for your camera. I like when they have mounting for your antennas. That is a real big plus for me. When you, designer puts antenna mounting options on their frames, it's a huge plus. Because I have spent, especially on racing frames, you know, on a racer, if a guy's telling me he's going to use this for a racer, you really got to be careful on where you mount the antenna. May not be the prettiest place, but you got to make sure that it's in a good place, because the gates love to eat antennas. And I have spent an hour or 2 hours sometimes just finding the perfect place. So with frames like this one, as we will see, they have really good options for mounting antennas, and I love it. Just makes it that much easier. When you get to the end of the build, you're like, okay, I'm done. It's not, you know, I'm not going to take the time to put the standoffs in the middle, because obviously you can choose what you're going to do. So that's basically it. Did we measure the arms? I think we did, right? What happened here? 0 got pushed wrong. Let's just do it again in case we didn't. It's going to be 4mm. Yeah. I like this frame. This is going to be one that I'm going to actually, and then once you get it built, it's even more stiff. This is going to be one that I'm actually going to build for myself and fly it for a while. What do I like about it? I like that there is a place for my camera. I run a GoPro. I think this is 45 degrees. That's about what I run. And so it gives me that option. I like that there is tons of mounting options here in the back. You can run your SMA straight off the back. You can zip tie, run it out the back like this and zip tie it under. I mean, it just gives you all these options. You have some places for zip tie. If you want to run your receiver on top, if you kind of ran out of room in the middle, you could do that. Just tons of options. And so overall, I am impressed by this frame. I think I looked today, it's like $60. Come on, that for this quality of a frame, that's a really, really good deal. So iFlight, I think they hit it out of the park with this one. Proof will be in the pudding as far as how durable it really is once I get out and fly it, but I cannot wait to get out and fly it. So I don't know what motors I'm going to put on this. I don't have any motors that are worthy of this frame yet. I may actually try, believe it or not, the new DUIS, the $10 motors, and just see what kind of performance I get. They do have a 2306 that a lot of people are saying is pretty good. $10 can't hurt. Things I don't like, you know, the only thing I don't like is the 1806 cutouts. You know, we really aren't going to be running a smaller motor on this size of a frame, and it just weakens that whole area. A lot of builders are still, a lot of frame companies are still doing it, but I wish they didn't, because we just don't need it. Maybe some people are still running 1806s like they did when they first started, but I don't think so. I think most people are on a frame that you know, is a heavier frame. Not that this is super heavy, but it's not super light. Let's see, make sure you can see, get that where you can see it. So the problem is I got to get there. I got to get it where you can see it and get it where it's not like tilted. It's a little tilted there, but let's get a measurement on the weight. 101. Let me put it on a place that's not tilted. It's going to be off camera, but I can at least see, make sure I got it. Yeah. 101 grams. Nice and light. Not crazy light, but it's in there. I think 100 grams is right in there at average for me for a frame. So this would be a great GoPro carrying. Throw some 2306s on there and just have a blast with it. Super, super beautiful frame. So thanks to iFlight for sending it to me and letting me spend some time with it and get it up in the air, and I'm going to fly the heck out of it, and just me and my son will enjoy it. I believe their website, I'll put the link in the description, but let me check here. I just pulled it up on my phone. So I always like to make sure that I have all the information right before I go too far with anything, but it's iflightrc.com. So check out iFlight. It's iflight-rc.com, And there you can kind of see options. Like I said, this right now, this is $60. I don't know if that's a sale, but that's a great deal on a frame like this. They have a lot of frames, and like I said, they sent me 4, and I've been impressed with all of them. Not every one of them would be ones that I would personally fly, but they're ones that every one of them have been laid out really well, and so you're gonna see those coming up on the channel. So check out their website, iFlight-RC.com, and you can check out my website, xframesfpv.com. Go to the custom build section. That's the only section that has my pictures. The rest of it is from stock photos from the builder, but we'll be updating that. So hope you guys got something out of this, and I hope you get some time to fly.